Hey, Su Trung here. I'll show you guys a story, and hopefully this is a learning lesson for you. The longer you've been in business, you probably hear it all, right? So one day, I got a great investor come in. Su, I got this amazing business. It's a great property, and it's killing, making a dime, right? I was excited. Okay, tell me about it. I said, well, you know, they make so much money because a lot of the money they make is just selling booze, like liquor. They have a liquor license and all that stuff. They have food and they got nice seating, got nice view. I said, well, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So, what do you want me to do? You need help with the financing or something like that? I'm guessing. He said, yeah, I need money, man. So I said, well, I have good news and bad news. Which one do you want to hear first? So anyway, long story short is that in financing, the boring stuff is easy to finance. The exciting stuff is much harder to finance, especially when it has something to do with the seven deadly sins. Whether you're religious or not, it doesn't matter. So, what are the seven deadly sins? Seven deadly sins are like liquor, gambling, basically taking advantage of anything that takes advantage of humanity, I guess. Whether it has to do with drug habits, whether it is to do with violence, whether it do with womanizing. So a lot of the businesses that cater to, even though it's legal, liquor is legal, marijuana is legal, but a lot of these business is it's tough to finance because the lenders, especially credit unions. I'll give you an example. Credit unions are usually financed and have money. They're basically deposited pool or financed by people who are affluent, and chances are they are religious people. So that means they don't want nothing to do with lending their money out to, pawnbrokers, for example, payday loans, loan sharks, right? Loan sharking, liquor establishment, gentlemen's club, hemp dispensary, you name it. Gun club, for example, casino gambling. All right, that's another one. They don't want to do nothing to do it. Even though this is great. This is a great facility. This is a great bar lounge. It's got a great view, moneymaker, right? They don't want nothing to do with it. Right? It's such a shame. I know. And you probably say, man, but they make money. I get that. But there's there's a thing called reputational risk that many people don't understand and not aware of it, right? Especially a lot of residential mortgage brokers never come across this. It's not a thing. On residential side, underwriting, does the numbers make sense? Commercials is all about numbers too, but there is a reputational risk they got to worry about as well, right? What about the flip side? There is a flip side. So a lot of the risks that we take as brokers, we're not worried because we're lending out other people's money, so we're not so concerned with that, right? But it's also affects your reputation. If you bring clients to the lender and they lose money from you, or they're in the newspaper because of issues, right, with customers, breaking and entering, all these establishments that have money, they usually get a lot of criminal elements to it as well, right? So you got to be careful. That's the reason why they want nothing to do with it. And if you have a good case, you got good business plan, you got people good reputational running these kind of business, and if you as a broker have good relationship, you can leverage a relationship with some senior vice president of the financial institution, then you probably get the loan. But chances are you probably don't, and that's a tough ask, I would say. On the other side is this. Now, the big banks are typically leery about financing things that credit unions will love, right? I'll give you an idea, like assembly halls, religious places, and nonprofit society, right? Credit unions are great for that, but the banks don't like it. Because why? Could you imagine Roy Bank, TD Bank, CIBC foreclosing on the Church of Christ in the news? That's going to affect their reputation, right, nationwide. So that's not a good thing. So if you have, they have some nonprofit channels that each lenders will also have can do certain type of loan as well. But overall, they're hesitant, whereas the credit unions love local business, they love the assemblies, religious or non-profit society and all that stuff. They're good. So lesson is that sometimes the boring stuff is probably better to finance. Find an apartment, find a development, find a townhouse area, right? This kind of thing, more lunch, not so great. Okay, so hopefully you learned something new today. And if you have any questions, feel free to message me, comment below in the comment section. I usually answer these things. And if you can, if you have some questions that can inspire me to create a video, I'll mention your name as well. So for future lessons and videos, just follow me. And if you're on YouTube, subscribe by clicking on the bell there. It will give you an announcement whenever I get new videos up for you. Until then, see you at the top.